Just here it is. Found it. Present. Thank you, everyone. Oh, so I'm going to talk about the Helix Charter High School 2020 Mindfulness Program, future school counselor right here. And we're going to start off with today's workshop, just doing a little bit of yoga. If you want to, it's all optional. Option to press your hands on the nape of your neck if you want to, and open up your shoulders and stay here. Inhale, lift your chin high. Open up your chest for those of you who are like me, who are in front of a computer almost your entire day. Exhale, lower your head down, release your neck. Option to move left and right to release your traps and your mind. Inhale, rise to a neutral position with your head above your heart. Exhale, release. Inhale one more time. Exhale. So now flutter your eyes open. Just reflect on how you feel now that you just did a little bit of movement. And I know for me, yoga's been life-changing, so I've been integrating it in my practice as a future school counselor. And I'm not sure if any of you knew this, but 25 minutes of yoga or mindfulness meditation per day can boost the brain's executive functions. So that's your air traffic control center in your mind. So you're able to multitask better. And so I actually have asked myself, could yoga improve student academic performance? And yoga also has other benefits. So it elevates your mood, reduces stress, improves fitness, and manages chronic conditions. And so I spearheaded the yoga program at Helix Charter because of mental health challenges at our site. So the California Healthy Kids Survey reflects that a higher percentage of 9th grade females at Helix High and 11th grade males had experienced chronic or sad feelings within the past 12 months. So the rate was 43% for females and 24% for males. And so the intervention that I began with was weekly guided yoga and meditation with 40 9th grade females for 4 weeks. And ideally I'd hoped to do it for 2 months, but we did get in 4 weeks. And it aligns with PPS School Counselor Performance Expectation 5, as well as the beliefs and mindsets below. And so after just 4 weeks of yoga, less girls agreed with the statement, "My feelings are easily hurt." So the percentage went down from 53.9% to 43.88%. And so this really aligns with the backgrounds in yoga, how you learn to respond rather than react, and you have less reactive feelings. And less girls agreed with the statement, "I feel stressed out most of the day." So the percentage of stressed out females went down from 70.99% to 67.54%. And just to back up a little bit, the gray bars show before yoga and the green bars show after they took part in the intervention. So there was a significant drop. So hopefully that helped them with their school and their academics and even just coming to school and attending school, because 9th grade is a difficult year as a transitionary year. And interestingly, 9th grade females have the highest rate of hopelessness. And more girls also agreed, "I feel that I'm reaching my highest academic potential in school." So I feel that this is kind of a reflection of how yoga makes you feel that you can do it, whether it's school or it's your dream or your career. And we saw the percentage of females that believed in themselves go up from 43.4% to 48.8%. So in the second intervention for the mindfulness program that I was able to implement for 3 weeks was guided yoga, sculpt, and meditation during PE with 25 10th through 12th grade males and females. And you can see these pictures on the left-hand side. Like, meditation is always a part of yoga and even with sculpt, but sculpt includes like high knees, jumping jacks, like push-ups. So it's a lot more like fitness yoga and even more like high intensity interval training. So I was really interested and excited to see how this would affect students' mental health. And after 3 weeks of participating in this type of yoga, less boys and girls agreed with the statements, "My feelings are easily hurt." So with this group of students, there was a significant decrease. So it went from 31% to 28% of students that felt that their feelings were easily hurt. But it was also a smaller percentage than what we saw with the females. So my thoughts are that the females had 4 weeks, and so it had a greater effect. And it also probably indicates that doing more traditional yoga, flow meditation is more effective at decreasing reactive emotions than the high intensity interval training type of yoga. And also After 3 weeks of yoga and sculpt, more participants agreed. I feel that it is important to practice self-care on a daily basis. And we saw that percentage go up from 89.7% to 92.3%. And my feelings about it are that just through doing self-care, doing yoga, students were able to really connect with themselves and see that before you can help others, you must help yourself, which is a big thing that we learn in the counseling field as well as helpers and healers. And during the study, I definitely recognized that the length of the intervention was a limitation. So we only have results for 3 to 4 weeks of yoga rather than 2 full months. And once again, like I did the post-test the week of school closures. So it would have ideally been best to have gone on for 2 months, a longer time. And also there was a small sample size. And unfortunately, 9th grade boys were excluded from yoga just because of time. I wasn't able to do yoga with them, but I heard secondhand from one of the other interns that some of the 9th grade boys kind of felt left out. So I would love to do it with even more students in the future. And there definitely were areas of growth in this program. So the percentage of students that agreed I can focus easily while in school actually decreased for both groups. And I, once again, think this probably is because the post-test was done during finals and also the last week of school before closures. But it's also something interesting to consider if there is a correlation between yoga and focus or if there isn't. And also student behavior and attitudes where it was a little bit difficult. I'm used to teaching a class where 100% of the students want to be there. Whereas I noticed some students distracted from the experience. They would talk, like the back row would talk. And then during our first class, during the meditation portion, 8 of the students actually grabbed their phones and were scrolling. So we had to like go and talk to them and ask them not to do that next time. So that's something to consider for the future is learning better management styles for when students don't want to be there or giving them an alternative activity. So through the research done here in the program, the data shows that yoga correlates with improved feelings of academic potential, less reactive emotions, reduced stress, and improved value on self-care. And just extrapolating from this, yoga and mindfulness in schools could potentially improve staff and student productivity, reduce harassment and bullying, reduce rates of depression, anxiety, and improve fitness goals. And so of course, I think all schools should have yoga, ideally. But then I also, just doing this short couple of weeks of yoga with students really got me thinking about even more research ideas I'd love to do in the future, like analyzing participants' actual attendance and actual grades and skills before and after the intervention and see if there was in fact an increase in their GPA, or rather was it just a mindset? Was it just like a feeling? And also, I think it would be a good idea to ask the question, ask the students before and after if they did have feelings of sadness and hopelessness before and after yoga that shifted, if those feelings went down. And also, I'd like to do more research on the effect of yoga on students at different age groups. So I did yoga with my 4th graders and now with my high school students, and I'd love to see what age group is the most effective, because going back to your executive functions, those are formed when you are a child. So I imagine that if children do yoga when they're young, it will have an even greater effect. And yeah, that's it. And as you can see, like I'm a yoga teacher and a future school counselor. And I just want to thank you so much for listening to everything. And it was just such an honor. And thank you to Helix Charter High School and Mr. Silva, the PE coach, for letting me come into class and teach during PE. So yeah, I just want to open up for any questions or any comments. I am seeing.
Yeah, it looks like a Connor